So in this section, we are going to deal with ideal diode equation. Okay. This will provide us with an equation for the current which passes through a diode when the diode is forward biased. So in that case, we need to have some assumptions, or we'll be taking some assumptions before starting the derivation. So let's see the assumptions at first. The first assumption is that the diode is long. Which means that the length of neutral N and P regions, that is these two regions, the length of neutral N and P regions are very large when compared to the diffusion length of minority carriers. Okay, that is the first approximation or assumption. Diode is long. That is the length of neutral N and P regions. This is the neutral P region and this is the N region, and this portion is the depletion layer width. So the length of this neutral P region and N region is very large when compared to the minority carrier diffusion length. That is the first assumption that we take before the derivation. Now, the second assumption is that the depletion region is completely depleted of mobile charge carriers. That is, we are not having any mobile charge carriers in the depletion region. Also, the region outside the depletion region, that is, in this region, E region, we are not having any mobile charge carriers. The only carriers are, the only possibility is the presence of immobile ions. We already പറഞ്ഞതാണ് immobile ions മാത്രമേ depletion region ഉള്ളൂ. Okay, this region is completely depleted of mobile charge carriers. And the region outside the depletion layer, that is this region. The region outside the depletion layer is neutral, charge neutral, or it's said to be perfectly neutral. Depletion region is depleted of mobile charge carriers. That is the second assumption. And the region outside the depletion layer is perfectly neutral. And now we'll move on to the third assumption, which states that the PN junction is abrupt. Or in other words, we can say that the carrier concentration is said to be constant on the neutral regions. The carrier concentration is said to be constant in the neutral region. In this region and in this region, the carrier concentration is constant. PN junction is abrupt so that carrier concentration is constant throughout the neutral region. Throughout neutral region. This is the third assumption. The first assumption is that the diode is long, or the length of the neutral P and N regions are large when compared to the minority carrier diffusion length. The second point is that the depletion region is completely depleted of mobile charge carriers. Third point says that the PN junction is abrupt, so that the carrier concentration is constant throughout the neutral regions. Now we have the fourth point as the contacts at the two ends of the diode. Contacts at the two ends of the diodes are ohmic contacts, ohmic contacts. Okay, the contacts at the two ends of the diodes are ohmic contacts. That is the fourth assumption. And the fifth assumption says that during the forward bias, we are having low level injection. Fifth assumption says that low level injection occurs when diode is forward biased. When it is low level injection, we mean that the injected excess carriers or its concentration is never comparable to the majority carrier concentration. That is, the excess carrier concentration is not at all comparable to the majority carrier concentration. That is actually what we mean by we are having a low level injection. എപ്പോഴാണ് നമുക്ക് ഈ ലോ ലെവൽ ഇഞ്ചക്ഷൻ നടക്കുന്നത്? നമ്മൾ ഫോർവേഡ് ബയസ് ചെയ്യുന്ന സമയത്ത്. സോ ഇഫ് ഐ ആം പ്രൊവൈഡിങ് എ കണക്ഷൻ ലൈക്ക് ദിസ്, see, now I have connected this PN junction diode in a forward bias mode. So what happens is that we are having holes here and electrons on the N side. Right. So what happens when it is forward bias? When it is forward bias, there is a tendency for the holes and the electrons to move in the opposite direction. That is, these holes will reach the N side due to what? Due to the decreased depletion layer width. Forward bias ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ depletion layer width കുറയുന്നു. അതുകൊണ്ട് holes will get enough energy to cross the depletion potential and reach the N side. Similar is the case for electrons. Electrons will get enough energy to cross the depletion layer potential and reach the P side. Okay. And moving on, our sixth assumption is that the temperature and doping are in such a way that the impurities are completely ionized. That is, the sixth point says that temperature and doping are in such a way that the impurities are completely ionized. Impurities completely ionized. That is the sixth assumption that we take. And the seventh assumption states that there is no generation or recombination within the depletion region. There is no generation or recombination within depletion region. There is no generation or recombination of charge carriers within the depletion region, which means that the hole current and electron current are the same throughout the depletion region. Okay. And finally, the eighth assumption states that the PN junction diode is in steady state condition. Steady state condition. So these are the 8 assumptions that we take before we go for the derivation of diode equation. The first one says that diode is long, which means that the neutral N and P regions are long enough when compared to the minority carrier diffusion length. Second point states that the depletion or the depletion layer is completely depleted of mobile charge carriers. We only have immobile ions in this space. Third assumption states that the PN junction is abrupt, which means that the carrier concentration is constant throughout the neutral regions. In these neutral regions, the carrier concentration is constant. The fourth point states that the contacts at the two ends are ohmic contacts. Fifth point states that it's actually low level injection happening when the diode is forward biased. Low level injection means the minority carrier concentration or the excess carrier concentration is not comparable to the majority carrier concentration, which also means that the majority carrier concentration remains the constant. Okay, even when the diode is forward biased. And the sixth point states that the temperature and doping are in such a way that almost all the impurities are completely ionized. Seventh point states that there is no generation or recombination within the depletion region. And finally, the 8th point states that we have a PN junction diode in steady state condition. So these are the assumptions that we take for PN junction diode current equation. So now we are moving to the derivations part. So നമ്മൾ ഡെറിവേഷൻ ചെയ്യുന്നതിന് മുമ്പ് ആദ്യം നമ്മൾ ചെയ്യുന്നത് ഇതിൻ്റെ ഡിസ്റ്റൻസ് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഒറിജിൻ ഒക്കെ ഫിക്സ് ചെയ്യുക എന്നുള്ളതാണ്. സോ വി ആർ ഫിക്സിംഗ് ദ ഒറിജിൻ ഓൺ ദ പി സൈഡ് ആസ് 0 ഹിയർ. ഓക്കെ, ഡിപ്ലീഷൻ ലെയറിൻ്റെ വിഡ്ത്ത് ഇതാണ്. ഡിപ്ലീഷൻ ലെയറിൻ്റെ വിഡ്ത്ത് ഈ എഡ്ജ് പി സൈഡിലെ ഡിപ്ലീഷൻ ലെയറിൻ്റെ എഡ്ജാണ് നമ്മൾ ഒറിജിനായിട്ട് മാർക്ക് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. ആൻഡ് ടുവേർഡ്സ് ലെഫ്റ്റ് വി ആർ മാർക്കിംഗ് എക്സ് പി. ഓക്കെ, ആൻഡ് ഇൻ ദ കേസ് ഓഫ് എൻ സൈഡ് the depletion layer width on the N side is marked as origin and Xn in the positive x direction. So I have represented the minority carrier concentration distribution. Minority carrier concentration distribution. It's marked over here. So we know that the minority carrier on the p side is electrons. Electrons are the minority carrier. Holes are the majority carrier in p side. And on n side, you know that n side majority carrier ennu parayunnathu electrons are the majority carrier and holes are the minority carriers. So this is the distribution of minority carriers. So I would be concentrating only on the minority carriers. എന്തുകൊണ്ടാണ് നമ്മൾ ഇവിടെ ഫോർവേഡ് ബൈസ് ചെയ്യുന്ന സമയത്ത് ഇവിടുന്ന് ഹോൾസ് അങ്ങോട്ട് മൂവ് ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ട്, റൈറ്റ്? Electrons are moving in this direction also. So what happens is that these holes will reach this side, and on that side holes will be the minority carriers. So we can calculate the current value due to holes at this side. Clear? Plus the current due to the electrons reaching the p side. Electrons p side reach cheyannu vechal they will become the minority carrier on the p side. അങ്ങനെയല്ല സംഭവിക്കാതെ ഇവിടുന്ന് ഹോൾസ് അങ്ങോട്ട് മൂവ് ചെയ്യുന്നു, ഇലക്ട്രോൺസ് ഇങ്ങോട്ടാണ് മൂവ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. ഇലക്ട്രോൺസ് ഈ സൈഡിലെ ഡിപ്ലീഷൻ്റെ ഈ പോയിന്റ് എത്തുമ്പോൾ അതെന്ത് സംഭവിക്കും? പി സൈഡിലെ മൈനോറിറ്റി carrier ആയിട്ട് മാറും എന്ത്? ഇലക്ട്രോൺസ്, റൈറ്റ്? അതുപോലെ തന്നെ ഹോൾസ് അങ്ങോട്ടാണ് മൂവ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. ഹോൾസ് വിൽ ബി ദ മൈനോറിറ്റി carrier in the n side. So that's why we are considering the minority carrier concentration here. അതുകൊണ്ടാണ് ഡയോഡ് കറണ്ട് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് ഇറ്റ്സ് ആക്ച്വലി ദ സമ്മേഷൻ ഓഫ് the electron and hole current, where the electron and holes are considered as minority carriers. Minority carrier ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഇലക്ട്രോൺസിന്റെയും ഹോൾസിന്റെയും കറണ്ടിന്റെ സമ്മേഷൻ ആണ് ഐഡിയൽ ഡയോഡ് കറണ്ട് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. ക്ലിയർ? So having marked the origin and distances, as the next step, we can say that the total current of a PN junction diode can be evaluated as the summation of minority carrier diffusion currents at the edges of the depletion layer. Okay, the total current can be considered as the total current I. The total current can be considered as a summation of IN plus IP. That is the electron current and hole current. So this can again be written as IN, that is the electron current at, so electrons will be reaching here, right? So it will be XP equals 0 plus IP. IP means current due to holes reaching here, right? This point. IP at Xn equals 0. So here, since what is the reason for the motion of electrons and holes? എന്തുകൊണ്ടാണ് electrons and holes move ചെയ്യുന്നത്? We are having a huge concentration of holes here and a huge concentration of electrons here. Forward bias apply ചെയ്യുന്ന സമയത്ത് ഈ ഡിപ്ലീഷൻ്റെ വിഡ്ത്ത് കുറയുമ്പോൾ they can move towards the lower concentration region, right? അതാണ് എന്ത്? ഡിഫ്യൂഷൻ പ്രോസസ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. ഹോൾസിന്റെ കോൺസെൻട്രേഷൻ ഇവിടെയാണ് കൂടുതൽ. ഈ ഡിപ്ലീഷൻ്റെ വിഡ്ത്ത് കൂടുതലായതുകൊണ്ടാണ് ദീസ് ഹോൾസ് cannot move in the opposite direction. അപ്പം പോസിറ്റീവ് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഫോർവേഡ് ബൈസ് ചെയ്യുന്ന സമയത്ത് ഡിപ്ലീഷൻ റീജിയന്റെ വിഡ്ത്ത് കുറയുന്നു. As a result of that, the holes will have a tendency to move towards the n side in order to maintain the diffusion. Okay, in order to maintain the gradient. So concentration gradient constant ആക്കാൻ വേണ്ടി these holes will have a tendency to move towards the n, and electrons will have a tendency to move towards the p side. So that is the only reason for current when the diode is forward biased. So we can say it as IN diffusion at XP equals 0 plus IP diffusion at Xn equals 0. So this is what we need to calculate in order to get the ideal diode equation. Diode in the equation we need to sum the diffusion current due to electrons at Xp equals 0 and diffusion current due to holes at Xn equals 0. This is what we need to do. Okay. On a next stage, we know that at equilibrium, we had already studied an expression like PP naught by Pn naught. That is the majority carrier concentration on P side divided by the minority carrier concentration on N side is equal to e raised to q V0 by kT, where V0 is the built-in potential. I hope you remember that expression. Pp naught by Pn naught is equal to e raised to q V0 by kT. This is happening at thermal equilibrium. Okay, this is the case at thermal equilibrium. That's why we are writing it as built-in potential. So if we are applying a voltage, or if we are biasing the system, biasing the PN junction diode with a forward bias voltage VA, suppose we are applying a voltage VA, the parameters in this expression will change like this. V0 will become, how will it change? We will apply a forward bias voltage, the built-in potential, that is that potential value will decrease, right? We forward bias apply e potential, barrier potential V0 minus we apply the voltage. That is, this V0 will change as V0 minus VA. Clear? Voltage apply in VA is applied. VA applied on the samayathu, what happens is that V0 will change to V0 minus VA. And PP naught will change as PP at xn equals, sorry, PP at xp equals 0. Pn naught will change as Pn at xn equals 0. Okay, this is how these parameters will change in this expression. But as per our fifth assumption, right? Fifth assumption was related to lower level injection. Yes, as per our fifth expression, or fifth assumption, we know that lower level injection is happening when the diode is forward biased. So PP xp equal 0, PP at xp equals 0 will be equivalent to PP naught. Why? There won't be any change in majority carrier concentration when the diode is forward biased. That is, when the diode is being provided with low level injection, there won't be any change in the, what is meant by low level injection? There won't be any change in the what? Majority carrier concentration. That's why we can write it as PP naught will be, or PP at xp is equal to 0 will be approximately equal to PP naught itself. But this value will be in this manner itself, right? Since this is a minority carrier. N side le holes in the, it's actually a minority carrier. There will be change for that. Yes, right. But a change on the N side le minority carrier concentration on a Pn naught. It's not Pn naught here. 0 ile, it's a different value, right? മനസ്സിലായി? ഇവിടുന്ന് ഹോൾസ് അങ്ങോട്ട് വരുന്നുണ്ട്, ഇവിടുന്നുള്ള ഹോൾസ് ഇങ്ങോട്ട് വരുന്നുണ്ട്. അതുകൊണ്ട് ഈ പോയിന്റിൽ ഹോൾസിന്റെ കോൺസെൻട്രേഷൻ ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് നോട്ട് Pn naught, it is a different value. Xn 0 on the samayathe, it's not Pn naught, right? It's a different value. So we can't say that this is equivalent to Pn naught. But this value will remain as the same, Pp naught. There won't be any change in that. Hope it's clear. Since lower level injection is happening, there won't be any change in the concentration value of majority carrier. There will be only change, but the only change will be happening in the concentration of minority carriers. So this expression can again be replaced as PP. So when VA is applied, the expression will change as PP xp equals 0 by Pn xn equals 0 equals e raised to q V0 minus VA by kT. Clear? This expression I am giving it as 1, and PP xp equals 0 can again be written as PP naught. So I am changing it as PP naught by Pn xn equals 0 equals e raised to q V0 minus VA by kT. This equation I am giving it as equation number 2. On the next stage, you will divide equation number 1 by equation number 2. Please divide that. Equation 1 divided by equation 2. So when you divide equation 1 by 2, what you get is that equation 1 by equation 2 will provide you with this expression, that is Pn xn equals 0 divided by Pn naught is equal to e raised to qVA by kT. Okay, this will be the result when you divide equation 1 by 2. Pn xn equals 0 divided by Pn naught is equal to e raised to q Va by kT, where Va is the applied potential. Okay, so this can again be written as Pn xn equals 0 is equal to Pn naught into e raised to q Va by kT. Okay. So we know that what is the value of Pn xn equals 0? Pn, concentration of holes on the n side at xn equals 0. We know that at xn equals 0, this is the value of minority carrier concentration. Like Pn എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് എന്താ? Minority carrier at n അല്ലേ? n എന്ന് പറയുന്ന സൈഡിലെ n സൈഡിലെ ഹോൾസ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് ഇറ്റ്സ് മൈനോറിറ്റി കാരിയർ അറ്റ് xn equals 0. xn equals 0 എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് ഈ പോയിന്റ് ആണ്. ഈ പോയിന്റിൽ മൈനോറിറ്റി കാരിയറിന്റെ വാല്യൂ എത്രയാണ്? Pn naught plus delta Pn. So we can write it as Pn naught plus, so you write that at xn equals 0, at xn equals 0, Pn xn equals 0 is equal to Pn naught plus delta Pn. Okay, so you can write it as Pn naught plus delta Pn is equal to Pn naught e raised to qVa by kT. That is delta Pn is equal to Pn naught common എടുത്താൽ into e raised to qVa by kT minus 1. This will be the value of delta Pn. Is that clear? In a similar manner, you give it as expression number 3. In a similar manner, you can write delta Np. ഇത് ഹോൾസിന്റെ കോൺസെൻട്രേഷൻ അല്ലെ, എൻ സൈഡിലെ മൈനോറിറ്റി കാരിയർ ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഹോൾസിന്റെ എക്സ്പ്രഷൻ. സിമിലർലി പി സൈഡിലെ ഇലക്ട്രോൺസിന്റെ എക്സ്പ്രഷൻ, ദാറ്റ് ഈസ് ഡെൽറ്റ എൻ പി വിൽ ബി ഗിവൺ ആസ് പി എൻ നോട്ടിന് പകരം ഇറ്റ് വിൽ ബി എൻ പി നോട്ട് ഇ റേസ് ടു ക്യു വി എ ബൈ കെ ടി മൈനസ് 1. Give it as expression number 4. Completed. So on next step, you can write it as by approximations 2 and 8. So just see what are the approximations 2 and 8. The second approximation or assumption states that the depletion region is completely depleted of mobile charge carriers. And eighth assumption states that, what does that state? P-N junction diode is in steady state condition. Since this is in steady state condition, the continuity equation for holes in the steady state condition can be written. Right? How do we write that? Can be written as d square delta p xn by dx square is equal to delta pxn by lp square. Well, lp is the diffusion length of holes. So this is the continuity equation under steady state condition. So this actually looks similar to a partial differential equation, right? So we have a solution for this. I think you remember the solution for d square y by dx square is equal to y. If you are having an expression of this kind, the solution is y is equal to c1 e raised to minus x plus c1 e raised to x plus c2 e raised to minus x. Right, we have a solution like this. I think you might have learned this in your differential session of mathematics. So coming to our expression, we have d square delta pxn by dx square is equal to del pxn by lp square. So the solution of this expression is del pxn is equal to c1 e raised to minus xn by lp plus c2 e raised to xn by lp. Okay, del pxn is equal to c1 e raised to minus xn by lp plus c2 e raised to xn by lp. Now we need to apply the boundary conditions. Applying boundary conditions. That is, we'll be applying the value for xn. That is, at xn equals 0 and at xn equals infinity. These are the two boundary conditions. What happens when xn is equal to 0? We know that at xn is equal to 0. What is del pxn? Del pxn is actually the excess carrier, right? Excess hole in the case is del pxn. What is the value of excess holes at xn equals 0? Xn 0 on the excess value it's same as that of delta pn. So we can write at xn equals 0, del pxn is equal to delta pn. Excess carrier in the xn 0 on the excess carrier is delta pn. That's why we have delta pxn. We boundary conditions apply, we will provide two values. That is 0 value providing, we will also provide infinity. That is xn is equal to infinity providing. When xn is equal to 0, we know the value of delta pxn. That is excess carrier. Excess carrier delta pn. So we have written that. Similarly, at xn is equal to infinity, please check. At xn is equal to infinity, what happens? What happens? At xn is equal to infinity, del p of xn is equal to, from the figure itself, it's known that this value goes on decreasing with the xn. That is, as xn reaches infinity, this value will decrease and decrease, and finally it will reach the value of 0. Okay, these are the two values of del p of xn at xn equals 0 and xn equals infinity. That is, if we provide the value of xn as 0 in this expression, in order to get the value of c1 and c2, c1 and c2 നമുക്ക് എടുക്കണം. അതിനുവേണ്ടി നമ്മൾ ഈ expression, if we are providing the value of xn as 0, then we can write it as, or you term this equation as 6. Okay. So sixth expression, if you are providing xn as 0, then del p of xn will become delta pn. So this can be written as delta pn is equal to c1 e raised to xn is 0 is actually s1 xn is 0. So this will become c1 e raised to 1 by infinity. 1 by 0, that is c1 into infinity it will become. 1 by infinity is actually 0. I will just write that. c1 e raised to minus infinity. Sorry, c1 e raised to c1 into 1 by e raised to 0 plus c2 e raised to 0. That is It is delta Pn is equal to C1 plus C2 when we apply this condition. So what happens when you apply xn is equal to infinity? Delta P xn is equal to 0. That is 0 is equal to C1 e raised to, it will be C1 into 0 plus C2 e raised to infinity. So you can say that C2 is equal to 0. So this is the expression that we get when we substitute xn is equal to 0 in this expression. This expression xn is equal to 0 കൊടുക്കുന്ന സമയത്ത് del p xn എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് it will be delta pn. So I have written it as delta pn is equal to c1 into e raised to, ഞാനത് 1 by ആക്കിയേ ഉള്ളൂ. You can directly substitute 0 here. If you substitute 0 here, it will be e raised to 0, it will be 1. So c1 plus c2 e raised to 0, that is c2, c1 plus c2. That is what I have written here. Delta pn is equal to c1 plus c2. And on the second substitution, that is xn is equal to infinity, if you substitute xn is equal to infinity, this value will be 0. Infinity delta p xn it will be 0 is equal to c1 into 0 plus c2 e raised to infinity. So c2 will be equal to 0. So after substituting the value of c1 and c2, you will get the expression as delta p xn is equal to delta pn e raised to minus xn by lp. You know that c2 value is 0, so this term vanish. The only term left will be c1 e raised to minus xn by lp, where c1 value you got it as delta pn.